"Don't open the door," a whisper in the woods. The whisper started the moment I turned onto the gravel road. Barely audible at first, like leaves skittering against the windshield, they wove an insidious melody between the groan of the tires and the hum of the engine. It wasn't wind. This was different. This was intent. My headlights stabbed into the thickening woods, casting grotesquely dancing shadows on the ancient oaks and pines. The road, barely a track through the dense undergrowth, felt like a constricting tunnel, closing in with every mile. Why couldn't I have booked a hotel near the highway? Why did I have to chase this ancestral calling like some moth drawn to a flame? The whispers grew bolder, coalescing into words fragmented at first, then chillingly clear. "Don't come. Turn back. Not safe." My knuckles whitened on the steering wheel, my heart hammering a frantic tattoo against my ribs. But some morbid curiosity, some perverse compulsion, kept me driving. The gravel ended abruptly, giving way to a weed-choked path barely visible by the weak moonlight. I parked by a crumbling stone obelisk, the inscription weathered beyond recognition. This was it. This was the end of the road, both literally and figuratively. Stepping out of the car, I plunged into a cold cocoon of silence. The whispers were gone, replaced by an unnerving quietude that pressed down on me like a physical weight. My flashlight beam traced a path through the tangled undergrowth, revealing misshapen roots and fallen logs like crouching beasts. Then I saw it, a glimmer of silver in the distance. A cabin nestled amidst the trees, its windows vacant, eyes in the inky black. Relief washed over me, tinged with the prickle of unease. This was my destination, right? The place my grandmother, before her dementia swallowed her memories, had whispered about in her dreams. Hesitantly, I approached the cabin. The porch was warped and creaking, threatening to buckle under my weight. The door, aged and unpainted, hung slightly ajar, a silent, gaping invitation. Fear warred with a perverse fascination. My grandmother's whispers echoed in my ears, "Don't, not safe." But curiosity burned brighter. Taking a deep breath, I reached for the handle. The door groaned open, a rusty hinge screaming its protest. Inside, the darkness clung like cobwebs, punctuated only by the slivers of moonlight filtering through the grimy windows. The air was thick with the musty scent of neglect and decay. My flashlight danced across the cobweb-draped furniture, a dusty gramophone, a moth-eaten armchair, a bookshelf cluttered with leather-bound volumes whose titles shimmered in the beam like secrets waiting to be unearthed. And then, a whisper. A breath of chilled air against my neck, sending goosebumps racing across my skin. I spun around, flashlight slicing through the darkness, but finding nothing except the shifting shadows from my own movement. My heart hammered against my ribs, a trapped bird frantic for escape. My mind conjured shapes and faces in the gloom, whispers morphing into taunts, laughter echoing in the hollow corners. Every creak of the house, every groan of the wind, became a monstrous voice whispering to leave. "This is not for you." Driven by a desperate need to escape the suffocating darkness, I stumbled towards the back of the cabin. Each step seemed to take an eternity, my muscles locked in a state of paralyzing fear. My hand grazed a rough surface, a door. I pushed it open, revealing a narrow staircase descending into the inky blackness. "Don't go down. Not safe." The whisper, chillingly close this time, sent a fresh wave of terror crashing over me. But it was too late. The allure of the unknown, the morbid attraction of unearthing some hidden truth, propelled me down the rickety stairs. The air in the cellar was stagnant, thick with the smell of damp earth and forgotten memories. My flashlight cut through the gloom, revealing rows of dusty crates and cobweb-draped tools. It felt like stepping into a forgotten tomb, the silence broken only by the drip-drip-drip of an unseen leak. In the far corner, nestled amongst the shadows, stood a single chest, its wood warped and blackened with age. My heart hammered against my ribs as I approached it, drawn by an invisible force. The hinges groaned in protest as I lifted the lid. Inside, nestled in faded velvet, lay a collection of worn journals and a tarnished silver locket. Curiosity overcoming fear, I reached for the journals. As I opened the first journal, the smell of aged paper and forgotten ink tickled my nose. The faded handwriting belonged to Amelia, my grandmother, her youthful optimism bleeding through the spidery script. It was the chronicle of her arrival at the cabin, lured by the same whispers that called me today. She wrote of a hidden world beyond the woods, a whispering grove where ancient secrets danced in the moonlight. Of a pact made with a shadowy figure, promising unimaginable power in exchange for a terrible price. Her words mirrored the whispers I had heard, filled with chilling warnings and frantic pleas to turn back. The pages grew darker, the ink tinged with desperation. Amelia described visions, nightmarish creatures lurking in the woods, the creeping dread that consumed her soul. The whispers became demands, their promises turning into threats, demanding ever more sacrifices. Then, abruptly, the entry stopped. The final page showed a single scrawled line. "Run. Save yourself." It was dated the day my father was born. Was that the price? Had Amelia somehow escaped, sacrificing her only grandchild to break the pact? Suddenly, I heard it again, the whisper slithering into my ear like a serpent. You read. Now you know. It circled me, growing louder, more insistent, but turned back. Not your place. But curiosity, now laced with a fierce determination, had replaced fear. My grandmother had tried to warn me, but I wouldn't be another sacrifice. I had to see this through to understand the darkness that clung to our family like a shroud. Guided by Amelia's cryptic notes, I found a hidden hatch at the back of the cellar. It led to a tunnel, dank and claustrophobic, that snaked its way beneath the cabin and into the heart of the woods. The whispers amplified with each step, now a cacophony of voices, taunting, pleading, promising, and threatening. Finally, the tunnel opened into a clearing bathed in an ethereal moonlight. There, amidst the gnarled oaks and twisted pines, stood the whispering grove. The air buzzed with an unseen energy, the leaves rustling in a language I couldn't understand. It was beautiful, terrifying, and undeniably alive. As I stepped into the grove, the whispers changed. They coalesced into a single voice, low and mesmerizing, speaking an ancient tongue filled with power and malice. It revealed itself as the entity Amelia made the pact with, the source of the whispers, the master of the grove. It told me everything, how it lured unsuspecting souls like Amelia, promising knowledge and power in exchange for their secrets, their memories, their very essence. It had fed on them, grown fat on their despair. And now it offered me the same deal. Knowledge of my past, power beyond imagining, all I had to do was give it one thing, me. I stared into the swirling shadows, the voice weaving its seductive web, promising answers to questions I hadn't even dared to ask. But Amelia's final plea echoed in my mind, run. This wasn't my destiny. I wouldn't be another victim. With a surge of defiance, I raised my voice, speaking in the language of my ancestors, the words passed down through generations, words of protection and resistance. The clearing crackled with energy, the shadows writhed and hissed, the voice snarling in fury. The grove fought back, unleashing an assault of nightmarish illusions, twisted memories, faces from my past, loved ones lost. But I stood firm, channeling the memories of my ancestors, their strength flowing through me like a river of defiance. Finally, with a scream that tore through the night, the entity dissipated. The shadows receded, the whispers died, and the grove fell silent. I was alone, bathed in the pale moonlight, my heart pounding with the thrill of victory. The pact was broken. Amelia's sacrifice hadn't been in vain. But the darkness wasn't entirely gone. I knew it lurked in the shadows, waiting for its next victim. My quest wasn't over. I had faced the truth, but now I had to warn others, to protect them from the whispers that lured souls into the darkness. Leaving the whispering grove felt like emerging from a bad dream. The familiar sight of the cabin bathed in the morning sun was a beacon of hope. I sealed the tunnel, burying the memories beneath the cabin, a silent tomb for the darkness. As I drove away, the whispers returned, faint echoes clinging to the car like cobwebs. But they were different now. They were just whispers, mere shadows of the terror I had faced. I wouldn't let them haunt. The whispers clung to me like the scent of damp earth, lingering even after I left the cabin behind. Every rustle of leaves, every creak of the car echoed their chilling chorus. It was a reminder of the darkness I had faced, a testament to the fragility of sanity in the face of the unknown. Back in the mundane world, the whispers gradually faded, drowned out by the symphony of city life. Yet, they left an indelible mark, a permanent shift in my perception. I saw shadows where I hadn't before, a whisper of menace in the rustling breeze, a flicker of the unseen in the corner of my eye. But the fear had transformed. It wasn't the paralyzing terror that had gripped me in the grove, but a watchful awareness, a respect for the unseen forces that danced at the fringes of existence. The whispers, once harbingers of doom, became whispers of caution, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks beneath the surface. Amelia's journals became my guide, a chilling blueprint of the pact she made and the price she paid. I shared them with my family, not to dwell on the morbid past, but to equip them with the knowledge to resist the unseen forces that may someday whisper promises in their ears. My encounter in the Whispering Grove hadn't just shattered my innocence, it had ignited a burning curiosity, a thirst for understanding the hidden realms that exist beyond our familiar reality. I delved into forgotten folklore, unearthed ancient grimoires, and sought out scholars who danced on the edge of the esoteric. I learned of other pacts made, other whispers heard, other groves where unseen entities bargained for the souls of unsuspecting mortals. My knowledge became a shield, not only for myself but for others whose paths might cross the unseen. Years passed, the whispers eventually settling into a faint hum on the periphery of my awareness. I married, had children, built a life anchored in the ordinary. Yet the darkness I faced in the grove never truly left me. It became a part of my story, a testament to the strength I found within myself, a reminder that the line between light and shadow is never as clear as it seems. One day, a young woman from a distant town, her eyes haunted by the echoes of unseen whispers, found her way to my doorstep. Amelia's story, passed down through generations, had led her to me. In her fear, I saw a reflection of myself, a spark of the same terror I had once known. And so the cycle continued. I shared my knowledge, my experience, guiding her through the maze of fear and uncertainty. The Whispering Grove may have retreated, but its legacy lived on, not in nightmares, but in the whispered warnings passed from generation to generation, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of the unknown. And even though the echoes of the whispers sometimes brush against my soul on moonlit nights, I know I am no longer their captive. I am the whisperer now, guarding the line between light and shadow, my voice a counterpoint to the seductive darkness, a beacon for those lost in the woods, whispering not promises of power, but a simple, timeless truth. Don't open the door. The darkness within is more than you can ever imagine. The story ends here, not with a final victory over the darkness, but with the recognition of its enduring presence and the responsibility we hold in navigating its shadows. It is a testament to the power of knowledge, the strength of shared experience, and the quiet defiance that whispers back against the darkness, ensuring that the faintest echoes of light will continue to pierce the gloom. I hope this continuation of the story meets your expectations and provides a satisfying conclusion. Should you have any further requests or feedback, please do not hesitate to ask.